Let's go. Let's fucking go. Peepo hi. Let's USA. It's raining outside the daycare and I don't want to get a cold. Where this MF at? Raised eyebrow. 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 Hey chatters. 5 months since election coverage. That's so cray cray. Just need to make sure you know some things. You are loved. You are enough. You are not alone. We will get through this together. Bring it in chat has hug hassle has hug. Blankies, 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 blankies. Super glad I found this community. Heart, heart. I'm a new frog. This is a great podcast stream to get me through the workday. Thanks, chap. Arjan? Hey chap, let me get some names for my son. My wife is 6 months pregnant. Hello chat. Don't get to tune in live too much these days, but always watch YouTube stuff. Hassle. Yeah. Eat that rich pussy. Peepo has wait, what are we doing? hassle. Somebody once told me the world is gonna LLL.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Hasanabi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles. We are live, folks. We are live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic day. It is Wednesday, March 24th, 11:11 a.m., and I'm early, or I'm right on time, as a matter of fact. And I hope everyone's having a great day so far.
Love you, chat has hug hassle.
My dad is visiting from Turkey. He's here. He came in last night. They have a place they've rented out, so they're not gonna be staying here. They'll be in and out of here, but mostly staying at the place that they're renting. Is your hand still red? Yes, I fucking slammed my desk so hard that I'm a little bruised, but it's not the end of the world. I was a little mad last night. I was very mad. Anyway, as far as personal news goes, what happened? Last night I ended the stream.
Some new rules in town. No parasocializing, no paragliding, no paramedics, no paratroopers, no parallelograms, and definitely no
in a stream relatively early after like a 10-hour broadcast last night on a heated gaming moment. And after that I went to sleep early, actually. Unfortunately, I finished the pirate show, which fucking sucks. I finished the pirate show, and now I'm in a black hole again. I hate being in a content black hole. Like, I hate not having something that I already have that I'm looking forward to watch. I feel like maybe this is just me. Maybe it's just the way I've compartmentalized my life. Like, it could be an ADHD thing. But like I look at life in like blocks, okay? Like I look at my day in blocks, right? Hold on, I'm gonna fucking turn this off and turn TTS off for this just to describe this to you really quickly. I have like little time slots, okay? Like I have little blocks of time that I have predetermined for myself throughout my day. Like, you know, the 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. time slot is full of all the stuff I need to do to get ready for the stream and you know, just working out, that sort of thing. And then there's the stream time slot. And then that is compartmentalized in the blocks as well, which is like the first block is, you know, personal news, which we're in right now. And then after that, the second time slot is news, usually if it's Monday through Friday. And then after that, I go into gaming, whatever the game is, or usually LSF or, you know, some other reactions and then gaming stuff, right? And my nighttime slot after that is just like relaxing, watching something, and then fapping, right? And the watching something portion of that there needs to be something, you know what I mean? There needs to be something there. And if there isn't anything there, I just feel shitty. Like I feel fucking bored. Like I get like anxiety that I don't have anything that I need to watch, which kind of sucks. Like being so limited in that way, but anyway, there's a new Boo Boo Bennett video which we will take a look at later. As far as news goes, there is this is a wonderful day. It's a wonderful and sunny day in California, Los Angeles, but there aren't any like severe hardcore news stuff. There's more information coming out about the Colorado shooter, but yesterday was pretty hardcore in regards to news coverage, and there isn't really anything going on unless you guys have some shit that you want me to look at. There's a ship stuck in the Suez which is what everybody's talking about, but that's like, you know, whatever. Can you talk about David Dobrik? What? I'm not familiar with what happened with David Dobrik. I was going to talk about All Gas No Brakes. Taylor, friend of the show, Taylor wrote a nice article about Andrew as well on All Gas No Brakes. Fuck. Personal news wise though, this is just that's it. I don't really have anything going on. I woke up with some more. I woke up with some more fucking back pain and neck pain, basically. I just I don't know how the fuck this happened, but whew. I have a little bit of manufactured Reddit drama of my own, but it's like it's not real. It's just like fucking bullshit. So there's not really anything to talk about. Reddit censored to protect pedo protecting admin? What? That's crazy. What the fuck? If we can say the shooter in Georgia was a white terrorist, can we say the shooter in Colorado was a Middle Eastern terrorist, or is that not a typical Democrat hot take? What do you mean? Both of those shooters are fucking terrorists, okay? Also, they're both white. One is Muslim and white. The other one is not Muslim, I guess, probably Christian or some shit, but they're both white. You could say he's a Middle Eastern terrorist, though. He's Syrian. For the record, you are watching the broadcast of a white person who is Muslim. So most people don't know that. But yeah, you can be both Muslim and white. Yeah, I know this is a fucking shocking revelation for a lot, but there's a video describing the David Dobrik drama. Okay, maybe we'll look at it. Is it drama or is it like actual serious shit? Anyway, regardless, there's a huge homeless sweep at Echo Park Lake. People are protesting. Can you check it out? Sure, I'll take a look at it. Here in Echo Park, solidarity with our unhoused neighbors, public space for public good. Holy shit, that's a massive gathering. What the fuck? In the state of California, which is supposed to be the libtard safe haven for everyone, we treat homeless people in the most brutal ways possible. We absolutely like people confuse California being blue with like actually progressive policies. And the California treatment of homeless people is probably one of the greatest examples of how far away from the truth that is. If you recall, a thing that I covered here, I'll just start. I'll get started already. I'll tweet out that I'm live. I'm live. Daycare is open. I got back pain and drama and news coverage for you. Get in now. Okay. Have you heard about GA giving access to everyone? Beginning Thursday, all Georgians 16 plus are eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine. Yeah, I feel like a lot of red states are unironically better. A lot of red states I feel like are unironically better at distribution than fucking blue states have been. And part of that I think is maybe because there are a lot of people who just simply do not want to take the vaccines. You know what I mean? Like in a lot of places I feel like people are just not interested in taking the vaccines. So because like guys, Oklahoma had a better distribution strategy than California for expiring vaccines. You know that, right? Like I've been saying this already. When people would ask me like, where can I get a vaccine easily? I was like, go to a red state. Oklahoma had a better distribution strategy than fucking Los Angeles did as far as like expiring vaccines. What they would do is just literally blast out to people like, we have vaccines that are going to expire. Come before 5 p.m. if you want to get your vaccine. And they would just vaccinate anyone that needed to get vaccinated. Me and my activists, all X's. What the fuck is all X? On Dream Tweet are watching you very carefully today. Make sure you don't step out of line and defend your friend who just happens to be a woman. Casey Tron and any other friend. People who have dared cross us. We all know what goes on behind the scenes. Don't even try to play this off. Okay, come on, Gorbachev. I already have a group of freaks up my ass at any given moment. Allies with an X? Oh, God. Ugh. It's so funny. The Womixon stuff is so interesting because, like, I'll randomly have someone that is, like, maybe in the comedy scene in Los Angeles, right? That I know, that I've known for years. And they'll be tweeting about, like, Womixon. Like, unironically, they're like, oh, I'm so glad we raised money for Womixon. Like, Asian Womixon. I'm like, what the fuck are you... Like, dude, what? I can't tell if I'm like literally getting too old, or are people just like genuinely bored and they're looking for new ways to, flex their fucking allyship points. You know what I mean? I don't get it. Like, I feel like I think people are just like bored and they're looking for new ways. It's like, dude, just fucking organize, man. Seriously. Take the time out. You have some reactionary points of view sometimes. Yeah, I guess I do. I guess I am. I am a reactionary in my old age, I think. I'm 29, which, makes me basically dead. I'm on death's doorstep. Which means, I'm on death's doorstep. I'm going to die soon. So, that's part of the reason why I'm always like, I'm always having reactionary takes. Like, performative allyship is just fucking weird. And I don't understand it. Like... You hurt your back sleeping, you old? No, I don't think I hurt my back sleeping. I think I hurt my back streaming, and then sleeping just exacerbates it. Anyway, how was the COVID-19 vaccination campaign going in your state? We'll take a look at that in a second. Yeah, the irony of Womixon is that it is meant to, I believe, include trans people and non-binary people, but it literally otherizes them, implying that they are somehow different than cis women, which are the normal women. Do you know what I mean? So it's just a swing and a miss, as always. A swing and a motherfucking miss. I live in Oklahoma, 20 with no comorbidities, and I'm already getting my second shot next week, mostly thanks to the efforts of tribal nations and the universities. Oh yeah, the tribal nations originally were having a really hard time, from what I understand, with both vaccinations and also with COVID protection within their own tribes, for obvious reasons: lack of federal funding, lack of help, being consistently undermined and underfunded. But I remember reading something about like how tribal nations in certain areas were just fucking blowing everyone's back out in regards to vaccinating their populations. Anyway, although our governor is definitely going to use this to earn re-election next year. My wrist is not feeling okay. Anyway, chat is frozen. I forgot to scroll down. I don't like Dana Carvey that much, but his Biden is on point. We'll look at it in a second. Hello, Azan. How's Azan doing today? They're also vaccinating people who don't live in the tribes. My friend has driven... Thoughts on Instagram activists? Instagram activists are fucking annoying for the most part. Like, there's some good people on there. There's definitely some good people on there. There's definitely people with... there's well-intentioned people. And then there's the fucking post a black square for showing your solidarity shit. And it's, like, kind of cringe. It's like the lowest form of activism. Hashtagtivism. Slacktivism. Whatever you want to fucking call it. Ellis, if you even went after your mods, really? Jesus Christ. The lowest of the low is motherfuckers who are like, I'm so upset about something that they like legitimately are not fucking upset about. The Hasanabi dude on Insta is cringe as fuck. You're absolutely right. You're fucking correct. That dude is super cringe, dude. Anyway. All right. So let's get started. As far as where do I want to start? I want to start off with Meghan McCain, most likely. The gun industry is, of course, preparing for a surge in demand after back-to-back mass shootings, which is an incredible story, an incredible headline. It's just so America. The greatest nation on earth, baby. Americans bought record number of guns in 2020 because of the BLM protest, because everyone was getting ready, brother. Getting ready for onslaught, getting ready for war, brother. And as you all, some of you do not know this, and you're about to find out, but famously, Americans buy more guns under Democratic leadership. Usually the highest point of gun sales occurs under Democratic establishments right after a mass shooting, because everyone goes out and purchases the gun because they assume that that gun is going to get banned. Now, they're stupid for assuming that that gun is going to get banned because, come on. Gun manufacturers, baby. They're way too powerful to ever have any sort of, any sort of gun get banned. This is their bread and butter, but...
Never felt she needed a gun.
You know, another high point of gun sales was... another high point of gun sales is during times of conflict.
Until now.
Which is coming now.
A mother of 3, she bought a Smith & Wesson and is learning how to shoot because the world she knew has changed.
I feel really scared.
Ammunition came from...
After Arzu got her gun, her girlfriend bought one too, and it didn't stop there.
And then my college friend, who's a guy that I asked to come with me to buy the gun because I was nervous to buy the gun, actually got his gun last week. So you're welcome, gun industry.
Industry data shows Americans in 2020 armed themselves in record numbers, buying 23 million firearms. In January, in Michigan, background checks for firearms were up more than 150% from the previous January.
Well, I can't believe it, brother. They're doing background checks. What kind of pussies live in Michigan, huh? Background checks? I don't understand it. Why do I need a background check to purchase a murder dildo that God told me I could have? Yeah, what about you're potentially taking guns away from law-abiding citizens with this background check?
In New Jersey, they were up 240%.
Everybody knows in New Jersey there's a lot of hunting going on, you know. There's a lot of hunting going on in the great state of New Jersey. Now, there is actually hunting spots in New Jersey, for the record. Like, I have friends from, like, fucking bumfuck Cherry Hill and shit. They used to hunt. But the difference is, like, these people are not getting... there isn't an increase in hunting in New Jersey. It's just, people are, as I said, afraid of Black Lives Matter protesters coming down and knocking down their doors. So they need guns. That's what...
The surge began last March with the uncertainty of the pandemic. Then came a summer of protest, followed by political turmoil.
So kind of perfect storm in terms of demand for firearms.
At Stoddard's Range and Guns in Atlanta, the guns haven't changed much, but the customers have.
We see a lot of women come in, a lot of couples, people with children. We're really seeing pretty much every walk of life.
Philip Smith of the National African American Gun Association says they're seeing about 1,000 new members a month. Are you seeing a lot of first-time gun buyers?
I say about 70% of the people walk.
America's so fucking weird because, like, liberals and even some leftists look at this and they're like, no, liberation only comes at the barrel of a gun. You know, like, it's great that black people are buying more guns in higher quantities. It's like, I just don't understand that. I'm sorry. People always ask me, like, what do you think about the Not Fucking Around Coalition? What do you think about, like, black people arming themselves and whatnot? While I understand that, while I understand how some people might feel about arming themselves, especially at times when they see that the police force is not there to help them, I still think it is absolutely. I still think it's absolutely a horrible idea to bring a fucking AR-15 to a protest, especially because it is an immediate escalating presence. So I find it really silly when people do that. And I have always had this position. I've consistently said this, even though people expect me to fucking say shit like, oh my God, it's great. Like, black people are buying guns. That's great. Like, no, it's not great. I wish that less guns were being sold, and I wish that there were less guns in circulation overall. The only potential positive consequence of this is that if more black people have guns, then white racist people are going to be very scared about that reality and potentially push for gun control. You know what I mean?
Walking through the door for NAGA are first-time gun owners.
Medical experts warn research.
Oh my God, I
shows
banned that guy.
growth.
Wait, I banned that fucking Turkish dude. Oh no, can you unban that guy? He was literally just saying the fucking the name of the coalition. I'm sorry. I thought he was trying to say the N-word. My bad. I literally didn't realize that that's just like the N-A-G-A is the name of the. There was a dude in the chat who was like saying the abbreviation, and I thought he was just like sneakily trying to say the N-word, and I banned them.
NAGA are first-time gun owners.
Medical experts warn research shows the explosive growth of gun sales will trigger another kind of health crisis, a rise in homicides, suicides, and serious injury.
We know that most of these unintentional injuries happen to family members or children. So actually owning a gun is a dangerous thing in and of itself.
When it comes to self-protection,
it really
Evans
is.
says face masks and hand washing would be safer and more effective. Back at the range, Sira Arzu says when
It's not an unfortunate naming. I low-key feel like this is not the first black group that I've seen abbreviate like that. I feel like they do it on purpose to just like fuck with white people. You know what I mean? Because it's not the first. It's not. There was another like black armed liberation group or whatever that like literally abbreviated in a way where it made it seem like they were not NFAC. No, there's another one. There was another one that we were better than watching your son's neck slit in front of you having a gun. Yes, dude. Yeah, dude. Like Captain Blackbeard in the fucking hull of a ship. Your son's neck is gonna be slit in front of you. Like, what kind of fucking weirdo? What kind of weirdo fantasy world do some of you guys live in where you're like, I can't believe my son's throat was slit in front of me. Thank God I have my Glock on me so I could stop that from happening. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Like, what do you think you're in fucking feudal Japan? Right? Like, you have like a fucking samurai after you, dude? Like, what the fuck? Not actual victims, so they fantasize about it? Yeah, like, literally, dude. It's like so insane. It's so insane when people just say stuff like that. I need to have my AR-15 because what if a death squad comes knocking down my door to force feminize my daughters? I need to stop them with my AR-15, which is tactically modded out to make sure that I have heat-seeking missiles.
She's not practicing. She keeps her new gun locked away, hoping she never needs it, but takes comfort knowing it's there in uncertain times.
Oh,
I don't
wouldn't
know,
they
it's
want their
just-
daughters to be feminine? Sorry. Force feminize my sons. See, I called them daughters already. I misgendered them. The liberal agenda.
It's like a security blanket, you know?
Martin Savage, CNN, Atlanta.
It's already working. I called them daughters when they're my sons. Oh no, I need a gun to fix this problem. Anyway, it's too soon. Look at it. It's too soon to know that back-to-back shootings will affect the sales of firearms. Well, we have a way to know. Yeah, I sound like fucking Surefour's a character, Kenny Hawk, right? Lenny's inbred brother. Gonna ignore the article for the meme. Cool. What? Anyway, so we don't have the numbers yet, but of course, every time a Democrat wants to push for gun control, gun sales increase dramatically, and of course, that's because everyone loves owning the fucking libs. Okay. Yeah, here it is. You see, times of social unrest that revolve around black people, and also mass shootings that inspire gun control legislation are the bread and butter of the gun manufacturers. This is how gun controls. This is how this is how it works. Monthly firearm sales increased dramatically at a time. Hold on. I'm gonna actually twat that out. After Parkland, there wasn't like a massive hike. There was still a significant hike, but not a massive one because, you know, they were relatively protected. Never forget, of course, that after Parkland, the only gun control or the only gun-related legislation that was passed in the state of fucking Florida was the pilot program that armed teachers against the interests of the coalition of teachers in the state of Florida. So Americans did take action after Parkland. The state of Florida did take action after Parkland, which was a reimbursement program to give $500 to teachers who would buy guns at a time when teachers were crying about having to pay for school supplies out of pocket. They were able to find money to reimburse. They were able to find funds and reimburse teachers for purchasing weapons. Incredible. At a time when they were upset about not being able to fund their own school supplies. So that's where we were at. You see this after every shooting? Yes, because my job is basically saying the same things over and over again into a void until the people that hear what I'm saying decide they're more woke than me and move on to other shit. And the new group comes in and they're like, oh, wow, this is some new and unique information I had never found out about before. And then they listen to it and then they find out and then they move on. And I just repeat the cycle endlessly because things never fucking change in America. This is it. I've been I have made a career out of repeating myself for the past 10 years almost, where I literally say the same exact things over and over and over and over again. And it sometimes feels like I am literally yelling into a fucking void. Okay? Kamala and Biden are doing a presser right now saying don't come to the border now. Yeah. It is helping. You're teaching so many people. Yeah, I don't know. Joe Manchin on infrastructure wants to go big and pay for it by raising taxes. Yeah, Joe Manchin is on board with a fat infrastructure bill, which is great, but that's pretty much it. That's the only time that Joe Manchin has ever been positive. He said that he was he said that he was on board with the infrastructure bill from before. Kirsten Cinema, it's simple. Equal work deserves equal pay. I don't know why she even fucking tweets. She's such a piece of shit. Anyway, how's your hand today? It hurts a little bit. I'm so fucking mad. I was so mad last night when I got fucking owned by stairs. The Parkland cop was not what a good guy with a gun did, but what happened in Colorado is an example of what happens when there's a good guy with a gun, but that guy still got shot. The good guy with a gun myth is just created by the fucking NRA. It's not a legitimate myth. It's not a legitimate reason to have a murder dildo that is unregulated in nature. Okay? It is just a fantasy of Western watching conservatives who think that who think that they are going to rise up to the occasion. The real good guy with a gun situation oftentimes occurs in instances like Kenosha. That is the real fantasy. That is exactly what happens. You go to a situation, you put yourself in a situation with an AR-15 where you can get a legal kill, okay? And you end up getting a legal kill and you fuck your entire life up. You murder fucking people and then you murder other people when you're running away from them. And that is the real good guy with a gun scenario. That is what happens in real life, not the, oh, there's going to be a hero here who's going to fucking tactically roll and snipe this dude's hand and like shoot the gun out of his hand and save everyone, and then everyone's going to want to fuck him immediately after that. Like that's just the shower fantasies of conservatives. The real good guy with a gun situation is when you put yourself in harm's way on purpose, knowing that there's an area of conflict somewhere, knowing that you could potentially use your gun for the first time on a real human being, and then you end up doing it, and you get into a lot of fucking legal trouble, and your life is changed for the rest of your life, and you also end up fucking murdering a bunch of people. Like the fantasy that happened in Texas? Oh, you mean after a guy fucking rolled into a church and murdered half of the fucking town, and then actually ended up driving away? That fantasy in Texas? The reason why you have to rush to anecdotes, which I am familiar with, by the way, the reason why you try to rush to anecdotes immediately without looking at the actual data itself is because it doesn't happen all that frequently. It's like whenever people try to make an argument that immigrants are dangerous, so they go to like one time where like there was an actually very violent undocumented immigrant, right? And you just literally point to that and you go, oh, like, well, remember that one fucking undocumented immigrant? Well, like, he murdered someone. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that, like, undocumented immigrants across the board are never going to commit crimes. Of course, they are capable of committing crimes just like anyone else, sometimes violent crimes. The reality, however, is that the data shows a very different situation, that undocumented immigrants are less likely to do crimes than natural-born U.S. citizens. There's not a lot of data available on this issue for obvious reasons. It's hard to collect. But the data that is available it shows a different reality. Anyway. I think you were referring to the guy who walked into a church and killed 3 people, was shot and killed by this old guy with a gun. That wasn't in Texas. That was another one. But I remember that. I remember that one too. Yes, that was one instance. Okay, I'll give you that. I know what you're talking about. I watched that. That video was fucking sick. That was in Texas? I thought that was somewhere else. I mean, he still fucking killed people, but which is, you know, kind of defeats the purpose, but it was fucking dope. It was dope to see. I remember inside of the fucking church where that old guy just fucking claps the shooter. Again, look at the data and realize that doesn't happen routinely, though. Remember the black guy who got killed by the police in the mall, who was the good guy with a gun? Yeah, in a lot more instances, the good guy with a gun actually confuses police officers and ends up getting shot too. So there is also that. Did you tweet that you're live? Yeah, I did tweet that I'm live, but I tweeted it early. No, fuck the data. You got rolled. Exactly. Okay. Even people who have taken gun courses and lessons, the instructors will break down that myth and tell you that you have no idea who the good and bad guys are when you're in the shit. An active shooter scenario is chaotic. Exactly, which is why we joke about all the fucking instances where fucking we used to watch those like tactical shooting drills and shit like that, and they'll always be like, I'm a responsible licensed gun owner. I'm a responsible licensed gun owner. Like, it's just fucking bullshit, okay? Like, that should never be a problem. That should never be an instance where that's like a real issue, but it is, because we live in America, so. Anyway. Yeah, Philando Castile is a horrific but good example for this instance of a responsible gun owner who was murdered by Geronimo Yanez. He did everything. He followed what you're supposed to do as a responsible licensed gun owner, and he still got fucking murdered. And the justice system let his murderer go. It happens a lot. Anyway. How often do instances like Kyle Rittenhouse happen? Not frequently. It's not that frequently. Here's the real problem with gun violence, okay? The real problem with gun violence still, of course, stems from the socioeconomic conditions that that force people into violent crimes, okay? A lack of opportunity, a lack of education, or a lack of just a lack of how do I describe it? Yeah, a lack of fucking opportunity. That's the best way to describe it. Being forced into a life of violent crime. This has been the same in perpetuity. This has been the same since the fucking days of Socrates, okay? It's not any different. It's not the rap music. It's not the fucking violence in video games. It's not any of that dumb shit, okay? People do this. People do violent crimes because they have no other option. No one wants to do violent crimes for the sake of violent crimes. Well, some people do, but those people are either psychopaths or very fucking spoiled. Most people do violent crimes because they're stuck. Okay? The real problem with gun violence also stems from the other side of the gun violence that does not pertain to the socioeconomic conditions is accidents. Like having a gun dramatically, and this might be shocking for some, increases the chances of you getting shot by it on accident and suicide. Okay? So it is much like many other problems in America, a powder keg for violent behavior and this sort of horrible shit happening because of the multitude of factors that contribute to this being the problem that it is. Okay? Going forward, when people ask me, like, why does this shit happen? I'm just going to say America. Because all of the wonderful things that happen in America That is the reason why there's so many issues. And if you look at the data, you will recognize this reality. As Jim Jeffries also eloquently puts, you're much more likely to use a gun on yourself than a home intruder. Exactly. You're much more likely to have your child use the gun on you or themselves than a fucking home invasion or an intruder that's like robbing you or some shit like that. Those who carry guns often have their own guns used against them, and a civilian gun is more likely to be killed than to kill the attacker. Yeah. Dude, what is this? Amy Chancellor's the Reddit admin who lived in the same house as her dad while he was sexually assaulting and torturing a 10-year-old girl. Then she continued to hire her evil dad and let him take pictures of children for her political campaign and was fired. She's also married a pedo. She's now censoring anyone on Reddit who talks about this, and many subs are privating themselves to protect against her. What the fuck? Dude, every fucking... No, I'm not covering Reddit news. I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't want to get into that dark... That is the darkest fucking corner of the internet. Motherfuckers who know what's going on Reddit and shit that happens on Reddit is literally just the worst. No, I'm not touching that with a fucking 10-foot pole. It's one of those things that like people straight up fucking get super, super duper invested in. And then we find out that there's like a bunch of misinformation on either side. I don't know what the fuck this is about. I do not want to cover it. I'm staying the fuck away. It is like people who no longer want to be on 4chan because 4chan is full of fucking boomers moving over to Reddit and like you know, creating new issues or some shit. If it moves away from the Reddit space into like the real world news, then I'll look at it and I'll investigate a little bit further. I just don't want to touch it. It's like one of those like people on the internet have pocket issues, right? Like that they legitimately care about. And by the way, those issues are important. Obviously, like what you're describing is really, really fucking horrible, right? But one of those issues is one of those pocket issues, for example, is what's that fucking what's that actress's name? Johnny Depp's wife. As soon as I mention it, people are gonna fucking start spamming it. Like every now and then, whenever like Amber Heard, like you'll see it. Amber Heard is like one of those things where everyone's always like, dude, did you talk about Amber Heard? Why do you never talk about Amber Heard? Why do you never talk about Amber Heard? Okay, she's an abuser. Like, she is abusive. And it's always like, it's rarely about the actual fucking issue itself, and more so about like the double standard that needs to be expressed immediately. She's the Green Party candidate in the UK news over there. It's like, I'll literally be covering like a fucking terror attack that's happening or some shit, and motherfuckers in the chat will be like, why aren't you talking about Amber Heard right now? Please, you need to talk about Amber Heard. When in fact, I should be talking about the real news, which is Meghan McCain.
Capacity.
We're going to talk about Meghan McCain. Okay, Meghan, my father McCain, and what she said on The View, which is incredible. So let's move on to that right now.
Capacity. And I think the question Democrats have to reconcile with right now is whether or not race and gender are more important than qualification. So if you have...
Okay, only dumbasses actually believe that like race and gender are more important than like actual qualifications. And also inversely, only fucking racist dipshits automatically assume that someone is in a position of power because of their race and gender rather than their qualifications, because the subtle implication behind that sentiment is that only fucking white people are deserving of the positions. Like, they've literally worked for those positions, and no one else has actually worked for the positions of power that they're in. Now, there are certainly dumbasses who say dumbass shit on the liberal side because they have been completely fucking poisoned by you know, like neoliberal hyper focus on identity politics, and will literally say things like, yes, I'm like Tammy Duckworth, who said recently, I am not confirming any other Democratic Democratic admin appointees unless they are Asian or from a marginalized community. It's like, dude, you're being fucking ridiculous. Okay, when you say shit like that, you literally make it seem. When you say shit, oh, this is in response to Tammy Duckworth. Okay, when you say shit like that, you are literally playing into the fucking meme. Okay, you are literally playing into the meme that Republicans have of Democrats, where they say Democrats only care about race. Democrats only care about what your background is. The real answer here to everyone that is unfamiliar with my position is your race and your background only matters as far as those experiences guide your worldview. You can be a black person who is a gigantic fucking racist. Candace Owens is a perfect example of this. She is literally a black white supremacist, okay, who uses her identity as a shield to deflect away from criticism and to justify white supremacist rhetoric and make white supremacists feel comfortable about their deluded worldview. So, being black automatically does not absolve you of racism. Being black automatically does not qualify you for a position. And being black automatically does not disqualify you for a position. In the words of Cornel West, black faces in high places is not actually a good way to dismantle structural racism. Okay? That's not how it works. That's precisely why the Democratic Party is able to elevate black faces into high places and act like racism has gone away when it clearly hasn't, when they are not doing anything to dismantle racist power structures. Okay? So, having said that, I will repeat myself once again. I mention this all the time. Your background matters. Why does it matter? Because in a lot of instances, the personal involvement and the personal relationship you have had and the experiences you have had are dramatically different if you are, let's say, a black person from a very poor neighborhood. Okay? So having that personal experience is going to allow you to make better decisions than someone who does not have that personal experience. Okay? That's it. Your background matters only as far as it guides your worldview, only as far as it guides your ideology. Okay. Let's watch the rest of this fucking dumbass clip.
Right. And Megan, when you see somebody say, hey, listen, I need us to be represented, do you think she should have done it differently, or do you feel like she was exerting her power as one in...
So what's your solution? The only way to stop racist white people from being in high places is to literally physically remove them? Okay, we are not currently talking about firing racist people after they've demonstrated that they're racist or operated at the behest of white supremacist ideology. We're talking about hiring people, and we're talking about the qualifications of people. If you act like, if you act like fucking, no matter who the person is, if they're not from a marginalized background, that like you're not going to hire them or you're going to stand in opposition to hiring them, you're an idiot. If you act like, for example, I am going to have a black VP, a black female VP, for no other reason than the fact that they are black and female, like Joe Biden did, you are literally playing into the meme. Kamala Harris is perfectly fine as far as like qualifications goes. Okay? She is not my choice. I don't like her. But as far as qualifications goes, she has the bona fides. Okay? She could be a vice president. She could be a president. However, when you turn around and you fucking say shit like, I'm just hiring her because she's black and